multi-exclusive dimensional beengkha with another exclusive. Grand Rising Kings, Queens, Gods, and Goddesses. Sending y'all a lot of healing and energy. So this video is going to be about Moon and Capricorn. Yes. So Moon and Capricorn. So this is basically dealing with the Earth. So of course, this is dealing with routine, status, pattern, life. Feel me? This is dealing with the physical representation. And of course, this is where it started at too. Know what I'm saying? So this is all about taking care of your responsibilities. If you ain't taking care of your motherfucking responsibilities, somebody gonna be in your house taking care of your kids. Somebody gonna be fucking your wife. Somebody gonna take your position. Somebody gonna take your status. Somebody gonna take your career. Somebody gonna take your spot. So it's all about basically taking things into consideration and basically being responsible for what you want to basically manifest and bring into existence. Because if you're not responsible, if you're not dedicated, if you're not determined, and you don't want it in life, then what the fuck is you here for? You might as well go get that vaccine and kill your ass now, since you're not really taking it serious. Because it's all about taking things serious in life. Of course, it's a time to play, it's a time to take things serious. So if you ain't playing good seeds, are basically dealing with your responsibilities and how you want to be seen to your status of career in life, then things is not going to play out to your favor. So you got to make sure you take that into consideration. So we got the Sun, Sextile, Jupiter. So basically, this is dealing with confidence. This is dealing with going through life experiences and shit. So you got to have confidence on your day-to-day basis. You got to utilize this as a responsibility, no matter what the circumstances, situation, no matter how outside look, no matter how fucking low vibrational it is. You got to have all the confidence in the world. You got to utilize this to get through your experience, to get to your day-to-day life. Also, you got Sun, Sextile, Saturn. So it's shining brightness on determination. So you got to you got to have determination and willpower, and basically you got to utilize this no matter what the circumstance situation is. It's always gonna be a day. It's always gonna be a day where there's a lot of challenges and shit that you gotta basically go through. But you gotta make sure you on day to day, on protocol, or else shit gonna basically take you away. Somebody else's determination gonna take away your commitment, and of course you're gonna lose your responsibilities. You're gonna lose your gift. We also got Moon, Sextile, Mercury. So basically we're gonna be basically focused on and organized with the way we think and communicate. And of course, this is Mercury is in Scorpio, so we're gonna have basically deepness about the way we utilize our responsibilities and looking at the bigger picture in life, and basically utilizing a picture frame where we can basically see ourselves as far as where we want to be in life. And this is willpower. So fuck what the outside world is telling you. Focus on what you need to be focused on. Also, we got Moon trine Uranus. So this is basically going to changes and stability and having our own unique organized way of basically dealing with rules and obligations of how we see ourselves. And of course, after the 2-day process with the Moon in Capricorn, the Moon will be going to Aquarius. Basically, that's dealing with vision. That's dealing with grouping. So if you ain't got a soul group or basically someone you can connect with during this time, this is a good time to basically start doing that, because teamwork make the dream work. That's how the government is running this world, right? So if you ain't working, we ain't working together, how the fuck we gonna run the world? Keep allowing these bitch ass niggas to basically be putting shit in front of us and having us take it, having us be utilized and equipped by their obligations and duties and shit. But fuck their rules, fuck their obligations, fuck their duties. You a spirit in the body just like them. Don't let nobody bitch you around. Don't let nobody sit you on. Make sure you stand on business, especially when you're dealing with the shit that you gotta get through in life too. Also, we got Moon squared Chiron. So just learn how to hide and bottle up our emotions, especially like going through hard times during this time. So if you basically learn how to basically utilize strength, because you know, especially for moons and Capricorns and of Capricorn signs, they don't really show too much emotion. That's a very stiff, very strong sign and shit when we're talking about emotion. Even though it's a feminine earth sign, but they really earth, they really hardcore. They don't really show their emotions. So for me, it's always good to basically not let somebody see you on your downfall or some shit. For me, even if you're going through the hardest turmoil in life, for me, always keep smiling no matter what the circumstance situation is. If you keep smiling every day, you always gonna get through what you need to get through, no matter what the motherfucking no matter how it should play out. For me, keep smiling. I guarantee you, that's how you kill a demon. Feel me? And of course, when we talk about Capricorns, I get attacked by the demon spirit. Feel me? Oh, I ain't do this right. Oh, I'm worried about this. Oh, I'm worried how the world gonna see me. Feel me? Get rid of all that guilt program. That's another thing, especially with the Moon and Capricorn. Watch for your knees. You may have knee problems. You may have joint issues. No, motherfucker, you don't got COVID-19. So don't be going to no fucking hospital and being fucking brainwashed by what the motherfuckers tell you and shit. No. Take care of your responsibilities of basically handling your health and stop worrying about shit. Feel me? Because the more you worry, the more you're going to put stress on your kneecaps. Feel me? Remember, these planets is basically rotating. These are like, you are the planets. Remember that shit. You are like the solar system. So don't ever get that fucked up or constructed. Feel me? Remember that shit. Also, we got Venus and Jupiter. So learn how to appreciate experiences. You may or may not appreciate certain experiences and shit, but learn how to appreciate it no matter what the circumstance situation is. you wake up every day. Learn how to appreciate that. Feel me? Learn how to basically create your own feeling and emotion of how you want to be seen, or basically the experience that you want to go through. For me, we speak this out and basically write this down to existence. Also, we got Venus square Saturn, so learn how to take on opportunities and improve, and learn how to appreciate our work, especially when we're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. For me, it's all about working hard to get where you want to be in life. For me, and I ain't talking about some shit where you gotta work hard at a 9 to 5 job. No, work hard basically with yourself. Spend time with yourself. The more time, 95, 100 time, 100% percentage of time that you put at your work, try to put some of that time when you get home. For me, yeah, it's okay to get a little napping too. For me, try to like utilize most of that time to basically get that time back and just go within yourself, feel me? And build where you want to basically be seen at in life, feel me? Visualize these things too. Put this into practice, feel me? That's when we talking about moon and Capricorn. That's practicality. Consistency is key in this motherfucker. Also, we got Jupiter conjunct Pluto. So the strong need to basically bring balance in society, especially going through changes. For me, a lot of people may not appreciate these changes, what's going on, but we're not going back to the old ways. We're going back to new ways. So basically, you need to find in yourself, find new ways to basically commit yourself and bring yourself through this lifetime. Feel me? You're not, feel me? Once they get rid of the U.S. dollar, what the fuck you gonna do? You gonna get that vaccine, or you gonna believe in yourself? Feel me? Feel me? It's time to basically take care of responsibilities. Feel me? Also, we got Sun Sextile Pluto. It's an opportunity to change our actions and shit. So, feel me? Pluto is telling you. Pluto is basically, feel me? It's a sun. It's a sextile too. So the sun is in Scorpio. And this is a sextile in Pluto. So it's basically a deep healing, a change to basically transform yourself internally, externally. Feel me? Try to switch things up. Feel me? Yesterday, for me, the old days back then wasn't really working. So you got to find a new way to basically utilize yourself. For me, go in your dark, deep state and change your ways of doing things in life. It's a new life. For me, it's a new age. For me, the old ways don't work no more. For me, you got to switch it up. You got to find a new way of basically expressing yourself too. We also got Venus square Pluto. It's a love and hate. So this could also be a love and hate with dealing with relationships, or you may be a stalker during this time. Watch out for people that's stalking your page too. That's another thing. Watch out for scammers too. Also, we got Jupiter conjunct Saturn, so it's taking your life, your principles, and your beliefs strongly. Make sure you believe in yourself. Make sure even though Jupiter falls in motherfucking Saturn, this is a strong conjunction and shit. So you could either basically be manipulated by experiences or believing in something, or you can believe in yourself, which universe and God are always gonna work with you no matter what circumstance, situations. But this way, I don't gotta work through somebody else to basically get through you. Because at the end of the day, if they gotta work through somebody else to get to you, then it's gonna take a whole lot of time. You could just basically access this power and energy for yourself. That's why you won't go through trials and tribulations for the rest of your life. Also, we got motherfucking Sun trine Neptune. So there's a smooth connection dealing with our actions, our arts, our talents, our creativity, and also our self-expression. Also, this is dreams, illusion that we can basically get ourselves into. Try not to get lost into the illusion. That's what's going on in front of you, feel me? Get lost into your own illusion of how you want to be seen in the world, how you want to bring your spirituality and your good faith into reality. Feel me? It's one thing to say into your motherfucking dreams, but you gotta basically put this into practice too. Practice what you preach, practice what you dream, practice what you visualize. Write that shit down. Feel me? Mean it. Feel me? Express it. Share it. Feel me? Nurture it. It's where you grow the seed. So we also got Sun trine Chiron. It's basically a gift to bring change to our deep issues in life. So, feel me? Sun is in this is basically do some rituals and spells behind the closed doors. Feel me? Do some shadow work. Burn some feel me? Especially if you're going through any things in a relationship or close commitments. Feel me? If this person no longer in your motherfucking presence and you trying to get over them, feel me? Get a paper, get a picture of them, or get an item of them and burn that shit away. This way you can burn out all that influences out of them and shit too. Feel me? Or just basically start all over. Also, we got Moon square Mars. This is basically going through struggles and obstacles and baggage and shit. Try to understand understand that you are one person. You can't be taking on the whole entire world responsibilities and duties and obligations. For me, one person at a time, one thing at a time. For me, Saturn always gonna get you from point A to point B, but Saturn don't like taking on too many responsibilities and shit like that too. Also, we got motherfucking Saturn conjunct Pluto. So this is basically hard times dealing with changes in power. So yeah, it's gonna be a hard time going through changes, but Are you gonna let Pluto come change shit for you? Because when Pluto come change shit for you, it changing the whole motherfucking aspect of how the way your life look and shit. So yeah. When we got motherfucking Capricorn in the first house, basically you're gonna be taking power and control over your personalities, your duties and obligations, your career goals for me. Try not to be too hard on yourself during this time too. This can play out to many aspects and shit for me. You don't want to put yourself in a circumstance situation being all over the place and shit. So try to like yeah, try to put yourself in a circumstance situation and have love and satisfaction with how you and try to learn how to nurture your goals and your responsibilities and your duties and obligations during this time for me. Especially with Aries too, for me. Try to like nurture yourself for me. Try not to get too many conflicts, and this is a learning process too. So you gotta learn how to have passion and desire during this time. Second house, basically you taking power and control over your responsibilities, dealing with your values and people, places, things you value during this time and shit. Learn how to have expression. Learn how to have self-expression, especially with Tauruses and shit. For me, it's one thing you may be into a whole lot of shit, but learn how to transform and learn how to put things into practicality and work this way. Things can basically best work for you. Also, when we got third house and motherfucking yeah, third house is basically taking power and control over your responsibilities with the way you think and communicate, especially with dealing with your environment during this time too. Feel me? Also, Geminis, try to have build some self-esteem within yourself, for me, and build some commitment and basically practicalize the way you want to be seen and like take care of your responsibilities, the way you think and communicate, the way you analyze your details, basically routine, schedule, and pattern for me. Be consistent with these things and things that play out into your favor as far as where you want to be seen and like too. Also, fourth house, basically is dealing with private home matters, and also this is a learning process too. This is also opposite. It's also Cancers too. Try to take more action. Try to take more power and control and relating with yourself. Feel me? You can't. This is a good time. Yeah, it's one thing to be a housewife too, but this is also an advantage. This is also an executorship when we dealing with ascendant with the Libra. So this is a good time to relate your self-esteem, dealing with yourself. Feel me? Learn how to have satisfaction with yourself and try not to look too externally until you can see somebody that can basically match your vibe. For me, it's one thing to jump into a relationship, but if you jump into many relationships, things may not play out to how you want to play out, especially if the person not standing on business, just like how you stand on business. So also, fifth house, basically just dealing with taking care of responsibilities, dealing with self-expression and commitment. And also, this is also with Leos. This is a sextile, so you got the opportunity to transform any obstacles or principles or people, places, and things or circumstances, situations that basically play part into your life. Try to have some willpower, go within yourself and have strong commitment. And for me, don't isolate yourself. For me, be more, conceiving. For me, it's one thing to be a black sheep dealing with this position when you got the 10th house and the motherfucking Leo. So yeah, to 10th house and the 5th house. So basically playing out with these energies, you got a whole lot of opportunities and shit. Basically transform how you see yourself dealing with your status and career. Don't be too hard on yourself too. 6th house basically is dealing with work, routine, schedule, and pattern during this time. Try to also Virgo, try to expand your growth the way you want to be seen in life. I mean, it's one thing to basically be a service to other people, places, and things, but try to learn how to be a service to yourself. Basically, try to get out your comfort zone. This is also an opposite too for me, because Virgo and Sagittarius. This is also a Sagittarius ascendant, so this is the opposite when we're talking about the spectrum. So try to find more responsibilities and duties and obligations when you're dealing with your work routine pattern and shit. Try to aim high. For me, don't be too service level. Also, 7th house is basically dealing with relationships and building and bonds and commitment and dedication and motivation. Also, this is also dealing with Libras too. Try to find responsibilities and duties and obligations and self-peaking as a way where you can see someone that's basically sharing the ball. You're not basically doing all the work. For me, it's 50-50 teamwork, make the dream work, partnerships, goals, commitment or connection, whoever you're dealing with. Try to have a balanced inquiry and learn how to appreciate and desire and love yourself first before you basically love somebody else. Because it's one thing to basically jump into a relationship, but if y'all basically don't have a self goal or self-determination, y'all gonna utilize each other as a crutch to say, oh, this person is stopping me to get where I need to get. This person is stopping me to do what I want to do. So try to put yourself in a circumstance situation where you're establishing a relationship where y'all both can be on the same page, where y'all both can share the ball, where y'all both can work together and get shit done, period. Also, we got 8th. When you got the 10th house and the 8th house, basically this is dealing with emotional depth, deepness. And this is basically dealing with Scorpios too. So try to utilize your goals and your passion towards where you want to be seen transform, where you want to see things transform in your life. Forget about anybody's insecurities or anybody's disagreements with how they see you or which the way you develop. Put yourself in a circumstance situation where you want to aim high. Feel me? You might have the ability to also be a scientist or be a astrologist or fucking be a motherfucking investigator or detective or behind the scenes person too. Feel me? Try to utilize this behind the scenes onto where it can find you your willpower and your purpose, so you can expand and basically move like Jupiter and expand. Feel me? Because you know Pluto is dealing with different transformation. Also, you know Scorpios, they like to hold things in. Feel me? So try to like to transform all that things that was basically held within you and shit, and basically transform this into where you want to basically be seen in life. Feel me? Try to get out your raccoon and shit. Feel me? Be a butterfly. Try to like relate your rings and shit. Relate your motherfucking power and control by healing people or basically healing society and shit. For me, don't stay in the dark. For me, try to shed some light on that dark. For me, this way opportunities and universe and God can basically work things into your favor too, which ways you wouldn't believe, ways you wouldn't visualize too. Also, 9th house, when we talking about this is dealing with learning experiences, wisdom, faith, and knowledge. Also, when we talking about Sagittarius, you're basically going to be looking more to ways where you can basically follow your heart and bring your framework into practicality. This is also Pisces ascendant. So it's one thing to basically be all into shit. But if you don't have no belief within yourself and you keep doubting yourself and having guilt and worry, then you're not going to basically take off in life. Feel me? You got to use more of your imagination and bring this down to existence. Feel me? Be more practical with this. Feel me? Learn how to relate. Because, you know, also Sagittarius and Pisces is basically the same thing. Pisces is more visionary. Pisces is more water. Pisces is more mutable. And also, Sagittarius is mutable. So mutable in a way of adapting to a way of how other people learn and experience life. And also Pisces, way of how people basically dealing with their feelings and emotions and learn how to adapt to that in the sensitive side. So try not to put pressure on yourself, but put more pressure on yourself as to basically bring what you want to bring into existence. Also, when we got 10th house, basically, this is basically a whole lot of work that you got to be basically working on, especially with dealing with your ambitions, your goals, your career, your practicality, to feel me. And of course, when we're talking about Capricorn, this is basically dealing with this is also restrictions, limitations, and boundaries, feel me. Also, this can follow you in your life now, feel me, because you may have put a whole lot of weight, especially in your past life too. This plays deep too. So if you got this position, you had a lot of responsibilities in your past life that you basically took upon, and also you basically died with that on your heart as far as how you want to be seen in life, feel me, and you had too many worries and too many doubt or guilt programs and shit. Or you pretty much didn't basically take care of your responsibilities in your past lifetime. So especially with the Aries ascendant, so you feel the need to basically take power and control over everything, no matter what the circumstance situation is, no matter what nobody say. You always down to earth. I mean, you always down to basically just diving into shit, basically taking a whole lot of responsibilities. Feel me? Try to like learn how to loosen up. Feel me? And learn how to realize that life is 50-50 thing. Feel me? Yeah, you may have a lot of responsibilities and duties and obligations to basically take on things and shit, feel me? But don't be too hard on yourself, feel me? Learn how to loosen up, feel me? It's a new lifetime. This ain't like the old lifetime, but basically you want to make sure you put yourself in a circumstance situation when you're always on time with the way you relate to your business, your goals, your status, your career and shit. So especially also with Capricorn too. It's a whole lot of especially with the Capricorn moons too, you're gonna feel the need to basically take on the responsibilities too. So don't be too hard on yourself during this time. Feel me? Or you're gonna have fucking body aches. You're gonna have motherfucking body pain and shit. You don't want that, especially during this time and shit. Especially during that, it's about to get cold outside and shit. So yeah, you don't want that. Also, when we talking about 11th house, is basically dealing with your ways of being unique into society too. Also, this plays out into responsibilities of where you need to basically be taking care of things in life, feel me? So you may be an outcaster, feel me? You may be very enlightened too, especially with dealing with Aquarius too. Try to be more practical with your daily routine. Be more brave, feel me? It's one thing you can hold on. It's one thing you can basically hold in as far as like taking care of your responsibilities. Is one thing. You can be in a whole lot of shit. You can have a lot of knowledge and wisdom and shit, but it's one thing to basically, you know, get connected with the universe, get connected with your higher self, and basically go within yourself and be more brave and try to put yourself in a circumstance situation where you're being more consistent in life. I mean, it's one thing to it's one thing to align yourself with the world, but if you're not practicing what you preach, if you're not going within yourself, if you're not basically doing the internal work, then how can others basically relate to you? So yeah, take on your responsibilities, duties, and obligations too. Also, last but not least, we got 12th house. It's basically reacting, responding, and taking care of your responsibilities and taking power and control over the way you dream, your visions, the way you analyze the details in your psyche. Feel me? This is also opposing energy too. So you gotta find a talent in this lifetime. Feel me? You may have been born into a family where, you know, they just basically just treated you opposite, probably doubted you or ain't really spent time with you and shit. You have a lot of talent, you have a lot of dream, you have a lot of vision. So also Pisces too. You have a lot of talent, vision, and dreams where you can basically utilize. Feel me? And home and being at home is basically one of your status and career. So especially if you got a 9 to 5, things not working out right now. Especially if you got the 10th house and the 12th house, being home, finding your talent in your career and going within yourself. I mean, being a spiritual guru or something, you know, working from home will be your best option during this time too. So for me, especially if you don't know your 10th house, for me, this is how you activate your 10th house. Your 10th house is basically dealing with status and career, where you want to basically be seen in life. So if you like, this is one way to look at it. Especially if you're not into astrology, and you don't even know your 10th house, you're going to basically be met with resistance, especially if you're working at a job where you're not basically just overly broke, working at a place where you're not basically be seen in the world. So, I mean, look into your charts. This way, once you know that self, you will know where you basically need to be activating your house lords, where you can basically put yourself in circumstances and situations where things in life would be more easier, money would flow more easy, especially if you learn how to basically take power and control over your responsibilities and basically committing this and basically pushing this out. So yeah, all you gotta do is look into your 10th house. This is where it starts, and that's pretty much it. That's also dealing with earth signs too. So 2nd house, 6th house, and 10th house. 2nd house is where you build, learn how to build, and learn how to value, which you can basically value to the world. Then 6th house will basically be putting this into practicality, schedule, routine, being more practical, being more organized and shit, and basically learn how to eliminate and fix things where you want to be seen. And then, of course, you're going to be granted with your wish. 10th house, basically your status and career, management. So it's about you. Do you want to basically manage your career, or you want somebody to manage your career? You basically will also want to take the short end of the stick. So you got to be very, very key on to where you want to basically find yourself and find your purpose in life. And yeah, I love y'all and wish y'all nothing but good abundance, good energies, and healings. And of course, you know, make sure you take your responsibilities right on paper where you want to be seen. Activate your 10th house to basically do your rituals and spells. Of course, Sun is in Scorpio, so do this shit behind the scenes and don't let everybody know what's going on. It'd be a stay down till you come up type of circumstance situation.